listening to Power Plug Radio. Home of your throwback jams.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Cranston Cumberbatch.
And this is Kawana Norman.
Yes, and this is The Way We See It, a talk show about shows that we watch and the way we see them. Shows like Power, shows like Bel Air, shows like Inventing Anna and Yellowstone, and so many shows that are out there that are so good that are really worth watching. And so we've come together. I mean, we talk about these shows all the time, every time we see each other at work. And so we decided to make a show out of it. And so here we are to do just that. So, Miss Kawana, the last time we left off, we were talking about the new show that's out, Bel Air.
Yes.
Yeah. And Bel Air, it is a really good show.
It's an excellent show.
I mean,
Will Smith is the executive producer.
Yeah.
And he's done a great job with it.
Yeah, it caught me by surprise. I knew to expect it to be more dramatic, than comedic. And but I just didn't know how far they were going to go with the drama. I just didn't know what the levels were going to be.
Yes,
and so,
they are hitting on everything that's prevalent right now, that's happening right now around us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've taken all of those topics and made them like modern,
exactly,
close to home, and so it's a really good spin on the show.
Yes, it is.
And the interesting thing about it is that I looked back. Seeing this Bel Air caused me to go back and watch some of the old episodes of Bel Air. And in fact, during the pandemic, I did a whole rewatch marathon of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Exactly.
And watched the show again. But what I noticed is, from a filmmaker's perspective, if you were to change the music, if you were to take out the laughs from the comedic version with Will Smith, if you were to take that out and put in some dramatic music and take out the laughs, you would get the same feelings that
I hadn't thought about it like that. But
because the topics were similar types of topics.
You're right.
When you pad in the laughs, when you put in different types of music and things of that nature, and then the way that Phil would throw jazz out of the house and things of that nature, those are the things that kept you laughing. Carlton with the, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Dance, when you take those things out and you put in what you get in this Bel Air, it gives you gave me similar vibes. And so it allowed me to see the Jabari Banks, who's playing Will Smith in this one. It allowed me to be able to really see him as Will and see just how close to Will Smith this guy is.
I think Will hit the nail on the head with this young man. Yeah. He is a great Will Smith.
He is.
Will Smith. He really is. In fact, I think all of the actors and actresses they chose for the show are on it. Yeah,
good cast, great cast.
Exactly.
Great casting. I mean, there's like a feel good vibe.
It is
to watching it. It's very easy to watch. Now I am interested to see if this Carlton in Bel Air is going to do the dance at any point.
You know what? I was wondering about that, but he's so. I don't think so.
He's so serious.
He's so serious. I don't think we're ever going to see that. Because this Carlton. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. He has some issues.
Ooh, deep-seated issues.
Yes, and I want them to explore where did it all begin? Right. Why is he this way now? Yeah.
What led him to this point?
Exactly.
Because there's definitely some influences, but there definitely was a big disappointment that happened that just caused him to be like, forget it.
Exactly. And it can't just be about his ex-girlfriend.
Nah, I think it's more to it.
I think it's more to it. And I can't wait till they explore that.
And I'm even curious as to how they even got together. because their dynamics are so
different, different backgrounds, as far as family, all of it. Lisa's not well off. She's not wealthy. She's a scholarship kid.
The
black thing.
Yeah.
Before Will, there were only 2 black kids at school.
At the school, so
that's probably
that makes sense. Being the only 2 black kids at the school,
that is true.
So there was a bond.
Exactly.
Like, we got to stick together.
They only had each other.
Which is typical for us anyway. If we are in a room full of non-black people,
we will gravitate to each other.
Yes, we're gonna do the what's up from we're gonna give the head nod.
Exactly.
And it's like an internal code that we have,
right?
To say, hey, brother, sister, we got to help each other. But it is an interesting dynamic to see what's happening with Carlton, and I want to talk about Hillary and Jeffrey.
Okay.
Because if you look at the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, their roles were totally opposite of each other.
Oh, yes.
In the old Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Jeffrey still kind of had, that air of, I'm going to kick your butt, but that was more comedic because you wasn't expecting it out of Jeffrey.
But this Jeffrey, I don't want to cross him. I know.
That dude looked like he ready to chop somebody's head off.
Exactly.
He never raises his voice above a whisper.
You noticed that, right?
He's like, hey, boss, is there anything I can do for you?
And he's always steps ahead.
Right.
He's always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
I think the last show, Uncle Phil needed him to do something. I've already done that.
Yeah.
I'm already on it.
Yeah. He's already thinking steps ahead.
Exactly.
So I'm interested to see, what more gets revealed about Jeffrey's character. Yeah. And you notice Jeffrey has not done one thing butlery.
I was about to say, they don't call him the butler.
No.
Right. They don't call him the butler.
No.
He is the house manager.
Exactly.
And he does
manages
nothing
that house.
butlery. And his suits. You see how sharp this dude dresses?
Man.
I'm like, whoa.
Even Carlton.
Even.
Carlton, he'll do the dance.
Right.
He is way too cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's way too cool.
Yes.
All right. So the only way I see Carlton doing the dance in this Bel-Air is if he's high and drunk. Those 2 things may be the way they get him to do the dance, and Will may have to save him from embarrassing himself. Yeah. And so it may be looked at different now that it's more dramatic, behind the theme of this one. But I was going to say that in the role reversal, in the old Fresh Prince, you would see Jeffrey cooking. You would see Jeffrey doing the household
He would prepare
things,
the meals.
But now it's Hillary that's doing all the cooking. And though she is cooking high end, gourmet, she still is doing all the cooking, which in the comedic Fresh Prince, Hillary wasn't doing much of that.
Yeah.
Right.
This Hillary is, the whole show is just much more serious.
Yeah.
She is all about getting her hustle on.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
Yeah.
And she really wants her mother's approval.
Yeah.
But she's not going to get that.
Yeah, look, my watch, I'm already so into this conversation. My watch says I'm working out right now. That is crazy.
But yeah, she wants her mom's approval, but she's not going to get that from her mom because her mom wants her to be on a different path.
Yeah.
And it's not hers. It's not what Hillary wants.
Yeah. And she's trying to respect that. And you can kind of tell and see that she's trying to, let her have her wings and fly. But it's getting interesting, the dynamic that's growing there within those characters.
I got something for you. What do you think about what happened with Will and Carlton in the last episode?
So,
do you think that's going to change their?
Oh, you mean him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Change their relationship
when they
at
hugged
all?
and him being there.
Right.
I mean, just as in the original Fresh Prince, their relationship has always been on a roller coaster.
Right.
As it is with most close cousins. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember, so I have cousins that would come visit us every summer from New York.
Right.
And it was just that same dynamic, you know. When they first get there, it's kind of like you're very protective of everything because they're coming from someplace else, and then over time, you know, there's that one thing that happens that bonds you, and now you're best friends, and you hate to see them leave, you know, when it's time to go. And so that's how I see their relationship. And for those of y'all that are watching, I'm hoping that you can relate to some of this that we're talking. If you haven't started watching Bel-Air, hopefully after this conversation tonight, you'll start watching Bel-Air. Because, I mean, you see, we are hyped about talking about this show. And so, but I think that has allowed them to bond for a moment. But the biggest issue that they have between them, which I already see your body language from feeling where I'm going, Lisa is in the middle of that. And because Carlton cannot let her go for whatever reason.
And this is my question that I'm going to pose to you and everyone out there. Like, would you, as his cousin, date her?
Yeah.
I think he's wrong.
I agree. I agree that he should back off. You know, and then my thing is for him to lock down so quickly on her, as if there is no one else, that he's not going to meet anyone else. He just got there, you know. So he's got a whole I mean, first day one, he's like, "Ooh, Lisa." I kind of also think a part of that is fueled by the fact that Carlton likes her, like she belonged to Carlton.
Yes.
And the way that Carlton treated him in the beginning, you know, kind of made it, kind of made him petty like that to say, all right, if you're going to be petty about this, I'm going to be petty about that. And then winds up like really liking her, you know? And so I just think that's interesting. But that's going to be an Achilles heel to that relationship.
It is.
No matter what, until they both, you know, end up with someone else. Which, if it's following the same storyline of the original Fresh Prince.
Will and Lisa do end up together. So
yeah, they do.
We'll see.
They do. So we'll see what happens and how that, you know, treks along. But that is definitely going to continue to be something to watch as far as that is concerned. But it's a good show. I mean, I really don't have, you know, anything bad to say about it.
Not at all. You know how the show came about?
How'd it come about?
You would like this actually. There was a kid, a college student, made a trailer.
Okay.
For school project.
Yeah.
Two and maybe 20-second trailer.
Right.
Of like what would it be like if the Fresh Prince was like a realistic situation.
Right.
Wow.
And so the trailer got so many views on YouTube, it got to Will. And
that's
okay, got you. So a trailer was made.
It was just a project.
Yeah, fan made project, and it got to him.
So
and
Will made it happen.
Yeah.
And Will got to it, and then studios, Will Smith.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know the same thing happened with the rapper who did the I can't think of his name right now, but he's the rapper that did all of the Will Smith movies, from like Fresh Prince to like Men in Black. I know his name. I cannot think of it right now. See, you're gonna make me Google it. What's his name?
The director, the person who made that trailer, is the director on the show.
Good.
Wow, nice.
And we'll work together.
Exactly. Nice.
That's the dope part. That's what made it so. That's why I checked it out.
Okay.
It was dope to see it from inception.
Yeah. I checked it out because Will was promoting it so good. I'm like, I have to tune in.
Right. And I just caught it on a whim on Instagram, and I thought it was a parody. You know, like, okay, this is not real. This is, you know, something fan made. It's not going to see the light of day in any real way. But I thought the concept was like real cool.
Yep.
And then to find out, you know, to then see Peacock starting to advertise it and major advertisements coming out about it, and seeing pictures of him and Jabari Banks and Will Smith together. Yeah, and it's like, wow, he really is a younger version of this dude.
I had a friend tell me
Okay,
Oh, wow.
gotcha.
He was one of the extras in the basketball scene.
Gotcha.
Okay.
When they walked up and the gang was
Yeah.
part of he was the one holding the basketball.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So see, you know people in the show. See, that's what's up. That is what's up. So yeah. Having been an extra in shows and things like that, you know, it is a cool thing to kind of watch it all happen around you.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is how people who only want to be in the background, when they get in that environment and they start seeing all these things happen, and they start seeing the stars and all that good stuff, they don't want to be in the background no more. All of a sudden, like, can I have some lines? Can I say something?
I believe I can do this.
And it's like, nah. Contract says you just stand there and look pretty. And so, but it's cool. But so we're gonna go ahead and shift over to Power. Yes, we're gonna shift over to Power. For those of you out there in Streamland, if you don't know about Power, you need to get on some Power.
You need to get with the Power universe.
Yes, you need to get with the Power universe. If you haven't started, please start today. Start this weekend. Take a day off, whatever.
Yes.
But get into Power. It is a very, very, very well thought out, well written, in my opinion, series that has some intriguing characters and has a lot of storyline to it. Flips and turns, twists and tumbles, and you just never know what to expect, and you can't get attached to nobody.
No.
It's like one of those Game of Thrones type of things.
Exactly.
To where
Because they may not be around at the end.
So, you know, I mean, 1 minute you're liking them, and the next minute is, how do I say goodbye? And they're gone, you know? But so right now we are up on Power Force.
Yes.
Where Tommy has left New York and has gotten to Chicago, and he actually was going through Chicago and ended up staying.
Yes, going through Chicago, headed to California.
Yeah, and ended up staying, in Chicago, and deciding to make his own name for himself.
And he is doing just that.
He is definitely doing just that. I mean, he's already worked his way up to the top of the food chain.
Oh, yes.
You know, in that. So in this last episode that's current out, and I'm sorry for those of you who have not watched it, or if you are watching it and haven't got this far. Spoiler alert, we're about to spoil a whole lot of stuff right now. So you close your eyes, or whatever. But in this last episode, Tommy has kind of bowed out from pursuing the girl that Flynn's son.
And I like that.
He respectfully bowed out.
Yes.
And so now he's left it for Flynn's. We got a caller. Yes, somebody's calling in. Yes. Hold on. We getting.
Huh?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
It's me, D.
We got a call. Who's this?
My name is Dante.
Dolores. How are you, Dolores?
Great. How are you?
We are awesome. Thank you for calling in. So what you want to talk about?
I don't know. What are you guys talking about? I was trying to get into the station, but
you're in the station right now. You on air right now with us.
Oh, cool. But I couldn't see it, so I didn't start from the beginning, so I don't know the conversation that you were talking about.
I got you. Well, right now we're talking about Power, and we're talking about Power Force, and we're talking about where we were talking about Tommy and how he has bowed out of pursuing the girl that Flynn's son is interested in.
Exactly.
So that's what we were talking about, and we're just talking about how, respectful that was, that, the way he bowed out of, trying to pursue her like that. And, he's always been one that's money first before females. And, for him to continue to stick to that code just shows, true Tomminess. But what would you like to say about the show? I mean, how do you feel about it? What's your take?
Well, I like it, and for somebody to do that, that means that's a big step, a big mature step to take.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes,
because sometimes you can take steps that's negative only because you're trying to show your power. Mm-hmm. but it's good sometimes not to show your power and to do the respectful thing. And sometimes when you do that, you come out ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I'm thinking about it.
I got you. Yes. And so we also are talking about, other aspects of the show where the things that Tommy's getting involved in now. Tommy's some old things are starting to pop up and creep up and catch him in Chicago, like the Servians. And he's running into them, and now he's like killed, one of the top people, and has really put them on high alert. And so, he's really trying to make a name for himself, but he seems to have no fear of nothing.
But I'm glad he doesn't, because in this type of business that he's in, this type of world, he can't have any fear.
Yeah.
He has to almost be afraid in order to make good decisions.
Right.
Right.
So we got a few people trying to find us on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, find you, because I'm like so lost. And I did plug in. That didn't work out because I kept hearing music.
Gotcha. So we're actually live on Power Plug Radio on YouTube, and that's where you can see us right now if you're trying to see us.
Okay, I'll go back there. As far as Power, I watched that a lot. But what other shows were you guys talking about?
We also talked about
earlier. We were talking about Bel Air.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Yes, we were just finishing up with that one. That is an excellent show.
Yeah, we just finished with Bel Air. But what's your take on Bel Air? I mean,
I love it. To take them where it was and where it is. Yeah. It's like a horse with a different color. Huh. But it is extremely classy. It's not garbage. It's real classy. And the guy who's taking on Will's part is identical.
Agreed.
Agreed. He has taken on all of his ways, his gestures,
everything,
and it makes you think of the show. Yeah, and I also like jazz.
Okay. Yes, I like jazz too.
Yeah, jazz
I don't know
cool.
I don't know how much they're going to put him in. Because he's a different take on the jazz that used to be.
Yeah,
but jazz that they're using now actually has his own business, which makes it even better.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. And so,
he has a record store.
Yeah. And it never was told, at least I don't remember in the original Fresh Prince, what jazz did. Jazz just would show up as far as,
exactly,
and get thrown out.
But I think we're going to see more of jazz in this one because of his connection with Hillary. Hillary made that real good connection with him as far as putting him on to Instagram and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? Since we're back on Bel Air, I do also want to go back because there was a part that we didn't talk about, and that was the fallout between Trey and Will.
Oh, that was powerful.
Yeah.
And Trey, I'm thinking that he's going to OD.
You think so?
They're going to have to have some kind of hanger or something, but he's going to OD. I don't think he can just continue. I don't think they're going to let him just continue to do drugs the way he's doing, and something climatic doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, are you thinking about Carlton or Trey?
I'm sorry. I'm talking about Carlton. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Carlton. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Trey.
His best friend from Philadelphia.
From Philly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so
the one who went back because he's thinking that he left him behind.
Right. And that was, that, to be honest, that is that's a tough position to be in, I mean, because they're on one side, yes, you're supposed to go back home, and you and this guy, you've been through so much together, and, you're kind of like his rock, to a degree. And so when your other half is gone, you're left to fend for yourself, and then you think about the whole time that Will's in Bel Air in a mansion, he's hiding out, trying to keep from getting shot again, And so it's tough. That was a real tough situation. But I thought that scene and the acting between them was really well played out. I mean, it was a really.
I wanted Trey to put himself in Will's shoes. Like if you were here, what would you do? Right. You wouldn't go back to Philadelphia. You would take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah. And
but you know what? A lot of people in real life is just like that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
A lot of people will proclaim to be your friend, and then when something does happen to you good, they actually hate you almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll find a way to blame you for your own success.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No matter how you get it.
Yeah. And Uncle Phil is experiencing the same thing. Exactly. We have the episode where he went back to his fraternity, and they felt as though he just abandoned them like all the way cold turkey, because But Dolores, thank you so much for calling in. We do appreciate you, and
thank you so much.
Yeah, and definitely we will talk to you again soon, and call in next week. I'm sure we can have more to talk about.
I'm going to go on YouTube. You said I can go on YouTube to see you now?
Yep. You go to Power Plug Radio on YouTube, and you'll see us right now.
I'm going right there. God bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. That was cool.
That was. Oh my gosh.
Yes, we got our first caller. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Wow.
Sound effects and everything. I'm telling you, it's a real show, people. It's a real show. But there are a lot of good dynamics that's in that show. And flipping back to Power, a lot of good dynamics that's in that show as well. You're dealing with, if we just talk about the Flynn family and the son, who the father is wanting him to, he's trying to groom him to take over the family drug business.
And that's not what he wants.
Yeah.
He wants a totally different path.
Yeah.
But his dad won't let him be his own man.
And it's like he wants it to a degree, but at the same time, like you said, he kind of wants to do it in his own way.
Exactly.
And the sister, who is actually more geared to run the family business, the father ain't even letting her touch it.
The dad is like old school. Like, you're a woman.
Yeah.
You're not cut out for this.
Yes. And he's prejudiced on 2 counts. He doesn't like blacks.
Right.
And he doesn't see women as being capable of doing certain things. And so, he's real old school in his ways. Mm-hmm. And you see those dynamics getting played out in each of the kids as they do certain things. Exactly. But the interesting one that I thought was real cold-blooded was when Tommy wanted to work with him. And he said, all right, I'll work with you if you bring me the other guy, the black guy.
Oh my goodness. Diamond.
Yeah, Diamond. He's like, you bring Diamond. If Diamond's on board, I'll work with you. And all of it was a whole setup for him to see Diamond so that he can tell him to his face how much he disliked him.
Exactly.
And he went as far as almost calling him the N-word. And you can see it in his face that he wanted to come out of his mouth, but he just wouldn't push himself to that level. But he did enough.
He did. And I like how Diamond handled that, because had he acted another way, it could have gone all the way left.
All the way left, But that it was interesting. And then his son that is in love with a black woman, how when the son finally stands up to him and says, I'm not gonna let you keep doing me like this, and you need to leave her alone, and she's off limits to you,
Right.
And he says, all right. He goes down to the bar and basically tells her, leave my son alone.
Exactly. You'll never be in my family.
Right. Like, as long as I'm alive, you'll never be in my family. Never, ever, ever. He's going to marry a nice Irish girl.
Yep.
And he went as white can be to say he's going to marry a nice Irish girl.
My grandkids would never call you mother.
Right. I mean, man.
Really?
It's cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded, deep stuff. But Tommy, he is really working and making his way through the city, and it's just going to be interesting to see how this next episode plays out with the Serves now being fully aware of him being a part of the hit of their main lady getting taken out, and how they, try and how he tries to get his way out of, getting killed by them.
I think more of Tommy's life in New York is going to end up in Chicago. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I think more people are coming.
More people. Well, hey, previews are showing us a little something, and so, and then when I look at the cast for Force, I'm seeing some faces in there, like 2-Bit.
Yes.
I see 2-Bit's face in there as being a part of the cast, so I'm pretty sure he's going to show up at some point, down the road.
Exactly.
But you know what? Right now, we're going to open it up for anybody out there on the phone lines or whatever. Let us know what shows you're watching, what shows got your attention right now. Let us know. I know another one that we've been talking about looking at is Inventing Anna.
Okay. I just started that last night.
Yeah.
And I am intrigued. I am on board.
Yeah. One of the things I like about that series of Inventing Anna is it really shows the power of what you can do when you put your mind to something.
Exactly.
And that you can be whomever you want to be.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it is totally up to you. I mean, she went from zero to hero like that. And only because she paid attention to detail, and she paid attention to the right details, to know the right things to say, to know the right attitude to have, to be able to blend into certain situations to where they actually believed that she is who she says she is.
I was going to say, if you look at her and when she's speaking to you, she is watching you. She's looking at your all of your mannerisms. She's hanging on every word.
Yes. I mean, she is. So, for those of you who are just now tuning in or didn't get the memo before in the social media posts and things of that nature, this is The Way You See It. I'm Cranston Cumberbatch with my co-host, Miss Kawana Norman. And you have 4 ways in which you can listen and or watch us on whatever. Watch us on YouTube and things of that nature. You can either download the app in the Play Store or in the Apple Store. You can actually, if you are that fancy, you can tell Alexa, or can you tell Siri? Not yet. All right. Well, we're working on Siri, but right now we got Alexa on board, and you can tell Alexa to play Power Plug Radio, and Alexa will play whatever current show is happening at that moment. So if it's music going on, it'll be music. If you catch us on a Thursday between 6 and 7, you'll catch us on The Way You See It, The Way We See It, and other shows that happens right here on Power Plug pretty much all day. Every day, it's something on Power Plug. There's never a dull moment here at Power Plug. Another way is to actually go to the website, which is powerplugradio.com. And another way is to subscribe to the Power Plug YouTube channel, which will give you notifications and alerts whenever a show is on. So if this becomes one of your favorite shows to actually listen to, you can set an alert for that, and it will notify you when we are actually on the air. And the last way to do that, to where you can actually join the conversation, is by calling in, and that number is 727-686-0512. That number again is 727-686-0512. And that's the way you can call in. You can ask us questions. You can chime in on the conversation. And right now we got it open to the airwaves for y'all to tell us what shows you're watching, what has your attention right now, what's keeping you up late at night, what's making you binge watch to where you just can't, you're calling off of work, you're missing lunch breaks, whatever it is. Let us know by calling us at 727-686-0512. Again, 727-686-0512. And so we got about a little over half hour left So we're gonna keep talking. Yes.
Watch Abbott Elementary.
Yes.
Bravo. Yes,
Bravo.
I do.
Bravo.
Yay.
Abbott Elementary. If you have not watched one episode of Abbott Elementary, you need to watch at least one episode of Abbott Elementary.
It is so funny.
Yeah, the show is hilarious. It has I can't think of his name right now, but he was Everybody Hates Chris.
Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes, I know his name. I should have looked all this stuff up, but
No, I had his name to it, and it literally left my mind.
yes. But I know his name. I'm Googling him right now, so I can tell you in
And
2 hot seconds.
The OG is in there. What's her name? Shirley Lee Ralph.
Yes. I mean, they really did a good job in bringing in the cast, and I'm hooked on that series as well. Abbott Elementary.
Yes.
I'm so hooked I can't even look. My watch is still saying I'm working out. I'm so hyped about talking about these shows. But all right, I'm getting names right now. Okay. Tyler James
That's
Williams.
him.
Yes. Tyler James Williams, Quinta Brunson, Janelle James, just a few who are in that series right now. Like you said, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Lisa Ann Walter, Chris Perfetti, Zach Fox, and William Stanford Davis makes up that cast of Abbott Elementary.
Good
and
show.
It's a really good show. You know, the antics that happen are like true to life stuff. I mean, you know, I've worked in all levels of school from kindergarten to elementary all the way up to, you know, college. And I've worked with different types of students at those different age levels, and it's just amazing the different dynamics that you experience at each of those grade levels. And what they cover in Abbott Elementary is it's truly some funny stuff. And bigger than what happens amongst the students with the teachers and staff, it's the staff themselves, right?
Yes.
That is even more interesting than what happens with the students. And you would think it would be worse with the students, but it's actually the teachers and the faculty.
You have the old school teachers who are set in their ways,
Yeah.
and we don't need to try anything different because it's not going to work.
Right.
But then you have the new ones.
Yes.
That's like that wants to try everything.
Right.
Because they're so excited about
Being a
teaching.
teacher, right?
Yes.
And they're so full of hope, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go in there," and then the students show you that, no, not today, buddy. You know, oh man, and I love it when you're the sub. Oh, the substitute teachers, man, the subs get it the worst, man.
Yeah.
There is no love for the sub. There is no love for the sub. No, for the sub, for the sub.
They throw you in the fire.
Yes,
As a
man.
man, they throw you with the.
Yes.
They'll say anything. Oh
Yes.
no, we're not supposed to be doing that today.
Yeah, exactly. We did that last week. Our teacher said we could, I mean.
And there's a whole lesson plan. But no.
Right. Well, the lesson plan that your teacher left me says that you guys are supposed to be, no, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong. And so it is just too funny, the dynamics that are out there. What's another show?
Blackish. We have to hit on Blackish because
Okay.
it's the last season.
Yeah. Blackish is going away.
Yes, and it
It has
has
gone
had
away.
a great run.
It has. I mean, the number of spinoffs that have come
Exactly.
from Blackish is like, wow. I mean, you got Grownish, Mixish.
And they were actually thinking about doing one for Lawrence Fishburne and,
For his for
and the parents.
parents. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, so I don't know if they're going to do it, but I know that was in the works.
Yeah. You know, it's some great writing that's happening out there in today's TV land. And that's what is keeping us like really hooked. And I think the pandemic has really slowed things down enough for us to be able to pay attention to other things, you know, in other shows. Shonda Rhimes, oh my gosh, she is killing it. Shonda Rhimes is killing it. She's going white, black, brown, Puerto Rican, and Haitian and Asian. I'm just amazed at the different storylines that she's coming out with, and all of them are intriguing, on their own. Exactly. What was the series that she had? Bridgerton. I mean, I can't tell you. There was no place I could go, and if there were women around, Bridgerton was. I mean, she's shaking her head. See, like Bridgerton, it was the show. Like, I mean, you couldn't get past it. It was like the romance novel of the 60s, something to that effect. But I mean, people were enthralled with that show and just the characters and just the dynamics that existed in that show. And so now her new show, which is the one that we were talking about, Inventing Anna. I did not know that was her. Yeah, Shonda Rhimes. Okay, I knew she had moved over to Netflix. Yeah. Okay. So Shonda Rhimes, she's doing her thing. Okay. And in fact, before I even confirm that, I just want to make sure that is Shonda Rhimes. I know I saw her name. Okay. I think it was Shonda Rhimes. I think it was Shonda Rhimes. We haven't talked about one big show I need you to get on. What's that? Snowfall. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Now, that's a show I'll miss work for. Yes. Snowfall, when it first came out, I didn't think it was going to last past. Really? I didn't think so. Only because there were because you had too many shows that were like it and hot at the time. So you had Empire that was hot at the time. Okay. You had Power, which was growing in popularity at the time. You had other shows like The Shy. Yes. So you had shows like that. So you had all these different types of shows, and then with Snowfall being on FX, and FX not being, one of those channels that, we go to. Right. I mean, well, at least I'll speak for me. I won't speak for the world. Right. But, you're right. FX wasn't one of the, channels that I'd go to watch that type of show. Right. And so, I just figured at some point in time, it was just going to die off. And the other shows were so high in popularity that I even stopped watching Snowfall for a while until it got into its later seasons. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is still going? Hold on. Yes. I think a couple of things went in Snowfall's favor. John Singleton. Yeah. Exactly. Watch anything he does. Right. Two, is a timepiece. Yeah. So timepieces are big. Time period, yes. Yeah, and FX at that time had 2 smash hits with Dave and Atlanta. Gotcha. So they were starting to get eyes on them. Yeah, so and then they got to deal with Hulu. So right. Then all that kind of happened, and then Snowfall kind of took that way. Gotcha. And then the first season, because it's John Singleton, the cinematography was so different. Yeah. From any other show. Yeah. That they shot. So it was like, oh, this is good, and they got good acting. And then you got the guy who's British, and once women find out a black man is British, the accent, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I want to pull out my British accent. But it amazes me that he can hide that accent. Yeah, British actors, they come to America and they steal all the jobs because they are able to it's one of those magic tricks it's like I can make my accent disappear. And as soon as that happens, it's like, oh, wow, I'm impressed by you, whereas on the other end, if you are a one-trick pony with your voice, and the only thing you can do is go from this voice to your high voice, they're like, we don't need that right now. But I'm amazed. But it is amazing to see that, and you don't only discover that when they interview. That's the thing. I just saw him on an interview, and I was like, wait, what? Hey, he's British? Yeah. Wow. It took me by surprise. That's why women are so in love with Idris Elba. See, that's what I'm talking about. See that right there. And so, but he's able to, throw away that accent at any moment, and you know, it's real cool. I'm even, you know, impressed with bilingual individuals that are able to like hide their accent or hide their, you know, language they speak, you know, to where it goes away until they're around their people. You know, my family's from the Caribbean, so, you know, I guess I can kind of hide, you know, it a little, though I grew up in the States, you know, born in the States, things of that nature. But when I'm around Caribbean people, you know, that
it comes out.
Yeah, it comes out, you know, and you can't help it. But yeah, but other than that, people think I'm from New York or something, and I'm like, nah, I'm from Florida. Born and raised straight here in Florida. But yeah, but Snowfall is a really good show. Definitely one to watch as well. And the other one we haven't talked about yet, and of course we got plenty more shows that we're going to be talking about and going in depth on as we do more of the way we see it. But Yellowstone.
Listen, that is my all-time favorite show right now.
Yeah.
I'm upset that it's not on TV right now, but it is excellent.
Yeah.
I started with the first half of the first episode.
Yeah.
It is so good. Every show.
Look, man, I'm telling you, once you get in, you're gone.
Oh,
it's
Kevin Costner.
I got a call and I forgot.
Yeah.
I'll go back to it.
It's worth going back to.
Yes.
And you're gonna be like, wow. Okay.
I say kudos to Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Kudos to Kevin Costner.
Yes.
He definitely has, you know, he's found a way to resurface his career. You know, not that he had any issues. He's made so many good movies that I'm sure the residuals coming from those movies has kept him to where he doesn't have to do very much anymore. Exactly. But the fact that he's able to keep himself relevant by being, you know, in these series, and, you know, the pandemic has caused a lot of actors to have to do things to stay relevant by coming to television and getting involved in these original series and things of that nature. Which is cool because it's now created this interesting streaming war between these streaming platforms, because all of them now are able to access a star that's got enough weight behind their name that will cause you to at least watch their platform for one show. And if they can get you for 2 or 3 shows, oh man, they're doing great. You know, especially, you know, with us still being in the age of the pandemic. You know, that's a real cool thing. But Yellowstone, we'll definitely, you know, within the next shows be going in depth and talking more character breakdown and storyline and things that are happening in Yellowstone. And of course, as we get more people that will message us on Facebook and things of that nature, and, you know, talk to us throughout the week, you know, about what we're going to talk about on the show. We definitely have, you know, more interesting, specific content that we'll talk about based on the things that you guys tell us, how you feeling about what we're talking about in the shows that you're watching. Another one that I will say is really good that also caught me by surprise, Ozark.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ozark. Man, I was not expecting Ozark to be as good as it is.
It is.
You know, Jason Bateman, he's always been a solid actor, you know.
I like him.
Yeah, he's always been a solid actor, and, you know, so I trusted that it was going to be good.
Right.
But I was not expecting it, you know, to be as good as it is, you know. Just the dynamics of how the family has to get out of the binds that they're in, you know, while still dealing with growing teenage kids who, you know, you're in a life or death situation and they just don't get it, you know, and having to like force them to get it, you know, and even though you're forcing them to get it, they're still not getting it. And by the time you get one to get it, the other one is right. Is so hurt and distraught and disappointed by some of the things you had to do in order to remain alive or remain on top of the situation that they just don't get it, and they end up causing more problems. And, you know, now you got to figure out more ways on how you're going to get out of these binds and things of that nature. And so I'm just impressed by the writing of the show and just the way that they have just really like crafted these dynamics and conflicts that the family has to deal with like on an every episode basis. And it's just like once you get past one thing, you're jumping right into an even bigger pool that you gotta swim across, and how they get to the resolutions that they get to get them across safely. Right. It's just amazing because I thought it was going to be a wrap for them a long time ago, but they're still hanging strong. This is what, season 3, 4?
4.
Yeah, season 4. So I'm like, wow. So okay, but
you said it. I have faith in Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
I like just about everything that he's put out there.
Yeah, he hasn't put out too many bad things out there that I can remember. Yeah. He's a good actor. He's been pretty solid. So, So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about Power. We talked about Bel Air. We talked about Inventing Anna. We talked about Yellowstone. We talked about Abbott Elementary. We talked about Ozark,
Snowfall,
and Snowfall. So those are some shows, 7 shows right there that we feel are very good, worth watching, worth binge watching, worth getting into. We'll definitely be getting more in depth on a lot of these shows more. Feel free to comment and reach out to us. Let us know what shows you're watching, and please continue to watch Power Plug Radio on YouTube. Continue to listen to the station. We gave you the 4 ways in which you can listen. It's a really great station. There's a number of shows that are here on so many different topics, and you there's never a dull moment here. I say that all the time. There's never a dull moment. And please come out to the Urban Drinkery right here on the corner of 22nd and 9th Avenue. Some of the best beverages that will ever be mixed for you to your taste buds that you can taste. Big, huge shout out to Don Myers, who has done an amazing job on creating our intro music for the show. Yes, shout out to Don Myers and Downtime Music Media right here in St. Pete. He does all kind of music compositions, things of that nature. Big shout out to IN Management, Rel L, who's also produced some music for the show, and just everybody that supported us thus far. Shout out to Dreammakers Productions, who is helping to make this possible for us to be on the air and living out the dreams of being on the radio. And we just ask you guys to tune in on next Thursday, where we'll be back with The Way We See It. This is it. I'm Cranston Cumberbatch.
I'm Kawana Norman.
And this is The Way We See It.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio. Home of your throwback jams.
This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio.